Hi, my name is James Fiore, and I'm here today to talk to you about chiropractic. Once we see a new client, we want to know what's happening with their cervical spine. What you see here is the latest in imaging technology. It's called cone beam computerized tomography. And what it actually does, it takes a 3D visual of your cervical spine, which is the area that we focus on.
That's Julie, by the way. Well, all right. I'm dragging her around.
So initially we get this scan, and I'm going to take you through why this is so unique, so effective, and so important. This is a 3D rendering of the cervical spine. So what you see here, this is the front view, and we've cut out the what they call the mandible, the front part of the jaw, so we can see into the cervical spine and see if there's any pathology there, anything unusual, any anomalies. We can move it around a little bit. We look at the skull to see if there's any pathology there, the TMJ. Then we look at the back of the spine from back to front. What we want to look at here is to see the alignment of the vertebrae, see the rotation of the bones, if any, see the alignment of C1 and C2 where the brainstem is right here. And we can actually look into the skull, right down into the brainstem and the spinal cord to see where there is, if any of these vertebrae are putting pressure into the brainstem. And you can see this vertebrae right here has gone forward. That's not a good sign. And then we look at the left side and right side as well. What we're looking for here are how the vertebrae are lined up. As you can see here, this is the second bone in the neck. It's called the axis. And this bone has gone backwards. You can see how it's hanging over the edge of the third bone in the neck. So we actually adjusted this vertebrae as well as the atlas on this patient's first visit. And then of course we get to look at the area where the nerves leave the spine to see if there's any what they call spinal stenosis, narrowing of the canal, any spurs, bone spurs that would push pressure on the nerves. And of course you look at both sides of the spine. And then once we analyze what they call the lateral views, the side views of the neck, as well as the back to front view, the posterior to anterior view, then we want to look at the cups and saucers. We want to look at this area right here and right here where the atlas meets the skull. And what we do that on a special screen, and this area here, there's the first cervical vertebrae, the atlas, and we're going to come right in. These angles are all very important because the adjustment is made specifically for each person, and that adjustment is based on what their angles are, what the shape of their skull is, and so all this information is vitally important. There are only a few people in the world that are using this technology to analyze the cervical spine, and most of those people are, like myself, Blair upper cervical chiropractors. So once we have determined all of this information, now we're going to look at this in 3D. The right side of the spine, we're going to enlarge it. And here's the first cervical vertebrae. This is the atlas. And here's the edge of the skull right here. And there's the edge of the atlas, right underneath, nice and even. Just the cups are in the saucers. That's just the way it should be. Let's look at the other side. Now this is pretty obvious, even to the untrained eye. Here's the atlas, the first cervical vertebrae. There it is there. It's supposed to be under the cup, right there. This is the edge of the skull. So this vertebrae, instead of being here, has gone like that. What we're going to do today is we're going to take Irina's temperature. basically the temperature of the muscles of her spine to find out if she needs an adjustment. So we're going to use this instrument, which B.J. Palmer invented in 1929, to measure the difference in temperatures between the muscles on your left side and the right side of your neck. And that's going to give us a picture here, and that'll help us determine whether or not you need to be adjusted. This is tomography. That's what it's called. So let's get to it. These tests that we're going to do are called Prill tests, and it analyzes different areas of your cervical spine to tell us what areas are the most involved. So in this situation, this little leg is short by about 1/2 inch, and that translates up into your hips, and that right hip is a little high as well. So I'm going to bend your legs up, Irina. Just relax for me. Okay, so turn your head to the left, please. Now the legs balance out. Now turn to the right, and the leg shortens up again. Look straight down the middle. When she turns her head to the left and the legs balance out, she's taking pressure off her brainstem, which is why the muscles in her low back relax enough for the leg to drop down. The messages from the brain travel at 120 miles per second, so we get an accurate reading almost immediately. Push up against my hands for me and relax. These are just muscle tests to test different levels of the spine. Turn your toes inward. Relax. And that's good. Squeeze together and relax. You balance there. The legs are even. Push out and relax. Those legs are even as well. So we're going to adjust your atlas today. Your shoulders. You got beautiful shoulders. So this adjustment is an advanced adjustment of the atlas vertebrae. And we're using his body, the shape of his skull, to help make this correction. Now just keep your head straight. You're going to follow this lovely lady to the resting room.
Okay.
And we're going to put you to bed for about 40 minutes.
All right.
You got a little color in your cheeks.
Oh, thank you.
You feel a little lightheaded?
Yeah, no, I feel
No,
great.
too bad,
I
because
feel
there's no
wonderful.
charge for that. What I'd like to do is invite you all to my office for a free consultation to find out if you do have a subluxation, if you have nerve interference, because it can be corrected, and your quality of life can improve, as well as the way your body functions and your longevity. So feel free to give us a call and come in and take advantage of that free consultation. Thank you so much.